What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel. We'll talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So let's talk about it. It's the night after the night before, or whatever, morning after night before. We had last night Saul Canelo Alvarez defending his undisputed 168-pound super middleweight titles against the young up and coming fellow Mexican Jaime Munguia. And for me, I will say that this fight definitely delivered. It was a good fight. It was a very entertaining fight to watch. We got to see some great moves by Canelo, and we also got to see the rise of a young star in Jaime Munguia. As for how the fight went, Munguia definitely started off very well. He started off doing things quite intelligently. He worked behind the jab very well, especially sort of first, second, third round. Those first three rounds were very good for Munguia. I mean, I think the third round is where Canelo sort of came into it, and he came into his own. But I would say that at least those first couple, Jaime Munguia sort of took those rounds. He was boxing very well behind the jab. He was throwing the straight shots. He was kind of using his height and his reach advantage by keeping things long, keeping Canelo sort of at the end of the jab. Canelo was content to sort of tuck up and have a little look at Munguia, and he was sort of looking for the opportunities to counter. But I'd say in those first two, he didn't really find enough of those opportunities to get Jaime Munguia back. So the Munguia has definitely had the better start of the two, but you could see that Canelo was just kind of warming up. Canelo sort of came more into the fight around the third round, I would say. He started landing with his counters, and Jaime Munguia would sort of be, especially around, I would say, sort of third, fourth round. He was doing the mistake of kind of falling in when he's throwing punches, kind of leaning in sometimes, and you could see what Canelo taking advantage, taking those countering opportunities, and Canelo sort of his engines got more warmed up as we went into sort of third, fourth round, and Canelo scored a knockdown in the fourth round. He again taught Munguia a lesson for sort of leaning in. Canelo just caught him with some nice counters, nice uppercut hook on the counter, and down goes Munguia. So it was a very good round for Canelo, and for me that kind of turned the fight around more so in Canelo's favor, because it was, I mean, in terms of rounds up until that fourth round, it was quite even, it was quite close. But for me, when Canelo scored the knockdown, the momentum kind of shifted in his favor. And as the fight wore on, it would be Jaime Munguia trying to attack and Canelo sort of making him miss, taking some of the shots on the gloves, and then he would then land with his counters. And Canelo's very clever, very crafty with the way he done things last night, because he tucks up, lets you sort of wail away and try to hit him, and then he counters you. And when he counters you, it's always with sort of explosive, eye-catching shots. So Canelo was able to do the more accurate work of the two guys, and all of his counter shots, they're all power shots. They're all big right hands, right uppercuts, left hooks, and there were shots where you saw them. When Canelo landed his punches, you could see them. The whole crowd could see them. They would have been very clear to the judges, and they're very accurate. That's one thing that Canelo did better than Munguia, whereas Munguia he'd work hard and throw flashes of punches, to throw plenty of combinations. He did a lot of things right, Munguia, but Canelo just proved to be that class above him. And as the fight wore on, it would take the same sort of path with Munguia, taking some of the sort of latter rounds with his combinations, when he would just eventually catch Canelo. But Canelo was just the better fighter defensively, and he would deflect enough of Munguia's blows and then land his own counter shots. And all of his counters, as I said, very eye-catching punches, and they're all power shots where you can see that they're rocking Munguia when he's hitting him. You can see that the sweat flying off of his head and everything. So, yeah, overall, the fight kind of took that pattern with Canelo just showing that, okay, yeah, you can fight with me, but I'm just that class above. And, it was Canelo's sort of better boxing and superior sort of boxing brain and boxing ability. Is his counter punching is what won him the fight. He won it unanimously on the cards. He was able, I think, for me, this was like a kind of 8-4, and then when you, as far as rounds, 8 to Canelo, 4 to Munguia, and when you add in the knockdown, I think that just tipped it right over the edge for me. I think even without the knockdown, Canelo still wins the fight, but I think the fact that he had the knockdown, that just made the deficit too much for Munguia. Munguia, as the fight got towards the end, it looked quite discouraged. He was able to still do some good work, but he was just having this problem of Canelo just being too crafty and too good defensively, where, yeah, you'll throw about 5 and then maybe 1 or 2 of them will get through, but Canelo was so good at blocking, deflecting, and then coming back with his own work. And when Canelo comes back, they're always good shots. They're always eye cap. You can tell that Canelo's really learned from the Mayweather fight and stuff. Although Mayweather boxed him in a different way with more movement around the ring. Canelo was able to do it sort of up close and personal, make sure when you throw, you land hard. So, yeah, it's one of those where good performance by Canelo, some vintage moments by him, and yeah, he's taken out a young challenger there. But this will not break Munguia, in my view. I think this fight could be the making of Jaime Munguia. It could be the loss that really teaches him something, and just as Canelo had his loss against a great fighter in Floyd Mayweather, Munguia's now had his loss against Canelo, and I believe he can come on from here. He can be a great threat to other guys in the super middleweight division, and he's got a bright future ahead of him because he's a young fighter. He's still 27. He can go on and become great himself. So yeah, good performance by both guys. Good fight overall, but Canelo just shows his superiority. That he shows that he's a level above guys like Munguia. As far as what's next for me, there's really one fight I want to see next, which is David Benavidez. Canelo was sort of gesturing to Benavidez after the decision was read. He was sort of gesturing to him. He may have been calling him into the ring. Obviously, we can't be sure of that, but he seemed to be sort of gesturing to Benavidez, like, yeah, it's something. And when asked directly about the Benavidez fight, he said, well, if they give me the money, I'll do it right now. It's all about the money for me. Right now, I'm going to go away. I'm going to enjoy my break. I'm going to rest, enjoy my family, and that's what I'm going to do. And whenever they get that right money, I'm ready for that fight. So for me, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a fight Canelo can win. For me, I'd favour Canelo against David Benavidez. I think Benavidez, what he can do is, punches and bunches, but I don't think he really does anything that special to make him the favourite over Canelo. I think for me, Canelo's the more skilled guy, the better boxing ability and everything, and I think Canelo will outthink him, outsmart him, and win that one on points too. But that is what I'd like to see next. Let me know what you thought about this fight, Canelo's performance, and who he should fight next in the comment section below. Until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.